So you got the 53, Boris Yurkovic, who finished second in that first 50. It was just a number 2 was the pill draw, and so no change really up front as Yurkovic is going to elect the outside line. He saw what Bigley could do up there. Now Boris wants to give it a crack up there as well. You'll have Jesse Dutilli starting third. Wayne Anderson will be fourth. John Nutley will start fifth. They're trying to sort out the rest of the field as they're going to wave off the start, as it looked like a couple of cars that didn't finish race number 1. We're trying to jump back up in front there. So you'll have the 37 of Michael Goddard, Noah Kornman back on track, Brandon Anderson, Cody Crucker again, as you mentioned, is back out on track, as is our fast qualifier from earlier, Dr. Patrick Staropoli. This is still a pretty good field. I know we've lost a few cars, but still a very, very competitive field that's going to go here for 50 laps. We had a great turnout, had 20 of them, over 20 of them signed in earlier here tonight.
A little side note, someone asked, where is Anthony Sergi?
Well, Anthony Sergi, I believe, was a little busy today. They were trying to go racing at Bristol today. I don't know if you heard this or not. I think if you've been living under a rock, there's dirt on Bristol. But unfortunately, there's mud on Bristol right now because it poured down rain all day up there. They did get a little bit of the race in. Anthony works with the Ben Rhodes Racing number 99 team up there. So shout out to Anthony and ThorSport Motorsports for what they're doing up there. So we're ready to go. Got 50 more of them here. Feature race number 2 for the super late models. Boris Yurkovic brings them to the green flag, and we are underway. Yurkovic will get the advantage down the back straightaway as Bigley jumps back into the second spot. The battle for third, though. Dutilli to the inside. Anderson on the outside. Michael Goddard back up into the top 5, right into the tire tracks of the 30 of Dutilli. Dutilli trying to get once again on the inside, a little bit loose down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Anderson can't quite clear him just yet. Anderson drifts up the track ever so slightly, but able to get back to the throttle a little bit sooner than Dutilli. Will give Anderson that third spot, and Dutilli left the door open ever so slightly for Michael Goddard, who's trying to get back on track here. They had issues in that first race. Got it diagnosed, got it fixed, back out on track again here and competing for the win here in race number 2. He's just now getting up into the 4th spot as Goddard on the move passes the 30 of Dutilli. There you see the 64 Patrick Staropoli back in the mix as well. But the battle up front for the race lead, Dylan Bigley doesn't want to ride second for very much longer as Boris Yurkovic continues to lead. Dylan Bigley there right in the tire tracks of the Midwest short track legend Boris Yurkovic. Here we go there as well. The battle for third now heating up as Goddard. He got around Dutilli. Now remember, Goddard not as many laps on his tires as a lot of these cars in front of him. This is what we mentioned. Obviously Goddard had a problem, but if you're able to manage your stuff early on in the early 50, it could prove very, very important for you. And advantageous is the 37 of Goddard, as Goddard quickly has moved up into the top 3. He's gotten around the 84 of Anderson, and now Goddard setting his sights on second place there. But how about this battle for 5th? Jesse Dutilli has got his hands full. The doctor is in. Patrick Staropoli right behind him in 6th. All over the back bumper of Dutilli. He shoves him up the racetrack. Dutilli trying to block the 64, and around goes Dutilli, dirt tracking it through the corner. I thought Dutilli was going to lose it. What a save out of the Bradenton, Florida driver. Staropoli's going to get around him as Dutilli dropping back. He's back to 6th. He slides right in front of the number 27 of Cody Crucker back out on track here. We'll check out up front here. Now it's a 3-car battle for the race lead as Michael Goddard with the fresher tires as we've got problems in turn number 2. It's the number 30. Jesse Dutilli has gone around as the SRQ Texas caution comes out for the first time here in Super Late Model feature number 2. 10 laps in the books on this one, still 40 to go, and you could tell Dutilli just absolutely had his hands full since the drop of the green flag of this second feature. Started up there on the second row, and he was having a tough time trying to hang on into the top 5. You saw him get sideways coming out of turn number 4 a few laps back, and loops it around over there in turn number 2. We'll see if Dutilli, if all 4 tires seem to be up on the race car. He is tagged back up at the rear of the field here. We're going to check the HTO replay center and watch the white car on your screen there. Oh, looked like he had a little bit of help there. The 30 of Jesse Dutilli. Looks like some help from the 27 of Cody Krucker. And that is why the 30 of Dutilli went around. I know he had his hands full, but tough to hang on. Tough to hang on with that one. So Dutilli trying to get back up here and get his spot back. Looks as though Dutilli is going to get his spot back. So the 27 of Krucker is going to go to the tail end of the line here for bringing out the yellow and initiating the contact with the 30 of Dutilli. So luckily for Dutilli, he's going to get to maintain his 6th spot on the track. As we are just about set and ready to go back to green flag racing once again, they head for the Black Sails Racing restart zone. Boris Yorkovic on the outside of Dylan Bigley, ready to go back to green. And Yorkovic, not as good of a start as he did last time. Bigley, he and it go wheel to wheel for the race lead down the back straightaway. Yorkovic on the outside with a good run, but here comes Bigley back again on the inside. It'll be Yorkovic by a nose that time at the line, but Dylan Bigley there on the preferred inside line trying to get back to the race lead, but Yorkovic powers up there on the outside, but he goes way up the racetrack through turns 3 and 4. This is going to give the lead back to Bigley, and here comes Michael Goddard. Goddard on the inside, another driver from the Naples and the Fort Myers area starting to work his way up through the field again. He's to the inside of the 84 of Anderson, and now to the inside of Yorkovic. Michael Goddard on the move here in feature number 2, but it's Dylan Bigley back to the point as he takes over the race lead here. They'll come by the stripe this time by 36 laps to go, and this one's still a long way to go. Behind him, good battle there for the 4 spot, the 64, Patrick Staropoli, trying to get to the inside of Wayne Anderson, another driver that didn't spend all 50 laps on track, so his tire is going to be a little bit fresher than drivers like the 53 of Yorkovic and the 84 of Anderson. Be very curious to see how the 37 of Goddard is able to attack the 28 of Bigley and how aggressive Bigley is going to be early on in this race, knowing that there is such a long way to go and he does have to try to conserve his tires because those tires are really going to show up later in this race, especially if we get a late race restart like we had in the first 50-lap feature. Remember, we had a restart there with just 3 laps to go where Bigley was able to hold off Yorkovic. But again, Dylan Bigley's your race leader. Michael Goddard runs in 2nd. Boris Yorkovic in the number 53 runs in 3rd. Patrick Staropoli is 4th in the 64. Wayne Anderson in the 84 car, he runs in 5th. Jesse Dutilli's number 30 car is 6th. Remember, Steve Dorr behind the wheel of the number 1 car that was being driven by Brian Dorr. He currently runs in 7th. John Nutley in the 96 car is 8th. Noah Kornman runs in the 9th spot. Cody Krucker runs in the 10th spot. Also have the 21 of Brandon Anderson, the 18 of Stephen King out there as well. David King and David Weaver. So we got 14 cars still on track here for feature race number 2 for the Twin 50s for the super late models. As we're now with 30 laps to go, we've got 20 laps complete. It's time for a battle up front for the race lead between Dylan Bigley and Michael Goddard, 2 of the young guns here in the super late model division here in the state of Florida, going at it here tonight in race number 2 for the super late models. Goddard's crew did an excellent job doing all the repairs that were necessary to get that car back out onto the racetrack here for feature number 2. And they are definitely showing us that they have a car that can certainly compete to win here tonight. They were running up near the top. They were in the top 5, right outside the top 3 when they had problems earlier tonight, and they're back up in the top 3 again here. Bumper to bumper, nose to tail, battling for the race lead with Dylan Bigley as the laps click down. This next time by, we will be halfway. 25 laps complete. There'll be 25 to go as Goddard looked like he was showing a look to the inside that time, but he backed out of it a little bit. Be curious to see just how early the 37 of Goddard is lifting to try to roll that car through the center, and I think that's exactly what he's doing, and it's working. Those fresher tires taking advantage. Contact with the 28 of Bigley. Here goes Goddard for the race lead. Michael Goddard gets around Bigley. Bigley going to try to return the favor. Can't quite get to the bumper. It's Goddard now to the race lead. Goddard with fresher tires and plenty of speed in that race car. Let's see if that 37 can set sail or if the 28 of Dylan Bigley has anything left here. Boris Yurkovic in the number 53 has closed in. There you see the top three battling. They close in on the lapped car. The number 11, David Weaver. Weaver's going to jump to the outside here. Goddard opening up the gap there, about 3 car lengths back to the 28 of Bigley, and Bigley's got the 53 of Yurkovic all over him. Michael Goddard doing such a great job there, patiently getting around the 28 of Bigley. Use the chrome horn just a little bit, but that's about as clean of a bump and run as you're ever going to see. And clearly the 37 of Goddard has got a fast race car. I mentioned it looked like he was backing off a little bit earlier than the 28 of Bigley. Using those fresh tires, and caution is out. The SRQ Taxes caution flies here in turn 1 and 2. That would be the 18 of Stephen King and the 21 of Brandon Anderson getting tangled up. There you see some of our spectators there on the pit side checking out the action there in turn number 2 as the 21 of Anderson has gotten away and the 18 rolling as well. The HTO Replay Center, we'll check it out down there in turns 1 and 2. You'll to see exactly what happened here as they headed down into the corner, and around they went. The Anderson car making contact with the 18 of Stephen King, and around they both went, but looks like both cars receiving very minimal damage. And for Goddard was starting to open up the race lead ever so slightly. Now this is going to give him his first crack at a restart on the front row. Where will he decide? Will he decide the inside line or the outside line? Bigley has looked very good on the outside line on the majority of these restarts, but we've been mentioning it, the fresher tires of Goddard. If you're Goddard, if you've got the fresher tires, I would think the bottom of the racetrack is probably going to be the move. We'll see what he decides here. Boris Yurkovic is going to be your third place car. Patrick Staropoli back up into the 4th spot. Wayne Anderson in the 84 rounding out the top 5. Jesse Dutilli struggling a little bit here in race number 2. He runs in 6th. Steve Dorr behind the wheel of the number 1 car. He currently runs in the 7th spot. In 8th, you have Cody Crucker there in the number 27. Noah Kornman in the number 77. And John Nutley. Those are your top 10 cars. You still have the 18 of Stephen King, the 22 of David King, the 21 of Brandon Anderson, and the 11 of David Weaver. Those are your last cars on the racetrack. Weaver's a few laps down. As we show 19 laps to go in this one as the field starts to double up. So 31 laps are in the books here in feature number 2. And we are watching the clock here. We're getting very, very close to that 11 o'clock curfew here at 417 Southern Speedway. Right, so the field has gotten the 1-to-go signal, and they're ready to go back to green. They'll get ready to head to the Black Sails Racing restart zone. So Goddard elects the inside line. It'll be Dylan Bigley to his outside. Boris Yurkovic there in the 53. And it looks like problems for the 37 of Michael Goddard. Goddard has issues and the car will not fire. And you can see the car, smoke pouring out of the car here on the front stretch. And Michael Goddard is going to try to bail out of the car here as a lot of smoke starting to billow from the inside of that race car. And the tough night continues as you see the frustration of the driver of the number 37 car as he throws his gloves, takes the safety equipment off, and Michael Goddard was looking at a possible race win here tonight in feature race number 2, and his night has come to an end as you see the smoke billowing from the race car as the caution is out again, as we did not even get back racing again. As you saw him there on the bottom of the racetrack creeping along, and as you got closer to that where that restart zone is, you didn't see the 37 picking up any pace or picking up any speed. And as he came out of turn number 4, you could clearly see you had the smoke coming out of the car. So glad to see that Michael's all right. He's out of the car and visibly frustrated as he surveys what has happened to his race car as the fire suit is coming off, and a tough break for the 37 of Michael Goddard.
So disappointing, but you see him right there give the thumbs up to his buddy Bigley. Go ahead and take home this win for the boys down south.
Devastating there for Goddard, but a big break here for Dylan Bigley, Boris Yurkovic, Patrick Staropoli. They're going to be your new top 3 cars. Looks as though the 30 of Jesse Dutilli has taken his car back behind the wall, either for some late race adjustments here. Try to get that car dialed in for the final 19 laps.
Super disappointed for Michael Goddard, but we know how racing goes. You win a 10,000 at showtime, and then you have a little bit of bad luck.
But you got to give a lot of credit to that crew. They hustled like crazy during the conclusion of that first 50-lap feature to give Michael the opportunity and the chance to come back out and compete in this second 50-lapper. And you definitely saw the 37 had plenty of speed. He still had plenty of tires left to be able to contend for the win here. But this is going to give the lead back to, you'll have the 53 of Boris Yurkovic, and you'll have the 28 of Dylan Bigley. It'll be Bigley that is the race leader, and Bigley is going to elect the outside line. That has worked so well for him all race long. And, you know, we were thinking there a few moments ago maybe Bigley wasn't going to have a chance to win both these races tonight, but here he is once again back in the catbird seat, right out in front again. But again, if you're Yurkovic now in the 53, another chance here again to restart on the front row to try to chase after that feature win here tonight. And now Patrick Staropoli back up in the mix. He's going to restart third to the inside of Wayne Anderson. Looks like the 11 car of David Weaver is getting back out on track here as we are just about set and ready to go back green here, back to the Black Sails Racing restart zone. Waiting for Bigley to fire. He is on it. And a good start there for Dylan Bigley as he's able to get around the outside of the 53 of Yurkovic. Yurkovic now with trouble. Here goes the 84 of Wayne Anderson doing it around the outside. Anderson trying to get around the 53.
You see some of them drivers tapping that outside wall. What a great angle.
Both of these drivers, the 84 and the 53, winners in the All-American 400. Two-time winner Wayne Anderson back in 1996 and 1999, and it was back in 2011 that Yurkovic took home the Winchester 400 victory. And here they are tonight at 417 Southern Speedway, live here on Sunshine State Racing, battling it out here. Out of turn number 4, Dylan Bigley still your race leader. Here goes Patrick Staropoli, the 64 car to the inside. Dr. Staropoli there trying to get to the inside, get that third spot away. Patrick, a winner out in the old NASCAR in the West Series, out there a winner at Irwindale Speedway when he was back driving for the Michael Wallop Racing Development Program. See him there trying to battle here to the inside. He and Yurkovic locked in a great battle here for third. Anderson and Bigley are starting to check out ever so slightly on that third place battle. But Staropoli and Yurkovic going at it.
It's going to be 13 laps to go when they come across the line this time.
13 laps to go. Dylan Bigley. This race A lot longer green flag runs here, a lot less cars on track than there were in the first feature, so plenty of room to get around out there. And the runs haven't been long enough to really get in a whole lot of lap traffic, just an occasional lap car here or there. So Bigley continuing to try to stretch his lead over the 84 of Anderson. He's got a little bit over a half a second back to the 84 of Anderson. Then you go back to the battle for third. Staropoli and Yorkovic about 2 seconds off of the race pace being put down by Dylan Bigley. And Bigley, he's got a lap car and David Weaver to get around this time by. And when he goes to the stripe, that'll be 10 laps to go here in our second 50-lap feature for the Super Late Models. There goes Bigley underneath the 11 of Weaver. No problems there, but Anderson, looks like Anderson sent it in there trying to take advantage of that lap car being there, and Anderson took off a little bit of time there. Has Anderson maybe been saving his stuff here right for the very end? He's now inside of 0.4 of a second and down to just about a 2 to 3 car length advantage for Bigley. As the laps wind down here, Anderson going to have to figure out when and where he can make a move, and if he's going to do it, he's got to make it pretty soon. They have left the 64 of Staropoli and the 53 of Yorkovic. They have opened up their gap even further over third and fourth place. Steve Dorr is up in the 5th spot. Remember, driving the number 1 car that had been piloted by Brian Dorr early on in the race. Cody Krucker's rebounded. He got black flagged in the first race and was unable to finish. He's currently running there in the 6th spot, as well as the 77 of Noah Kornman. As now, there you see Bigley going by the stripe now, 5 laps to go. Anderson has not been able to gain on Bigley. They're keeping that distance right under 0.4 of a second as Bigley looks to try to sweep here tonight. Bigley seems to be just a little bit better coming off of the corner. Anderson sends it in a little bit better, but Bigley's able to get much better drive off of the corner and able to pull away as we've got just 3 laps to go in this one. Can Dylan Bigley do it? This time by 2 laps remaining for the 3rd-generation driver out of Naples, Florida. Driving the familiar look and colors there of his dad, Billy Bigley Jr. But Wayne Anderson, here he comes. Inside of 0.3 of a second. They're headed to the white flag. It's the Dano Seasonings final lap, and Wayne Anderson is there. Bigley's got his hands full. Sideways that last time. Now Anderson dirt tracking it out of turn number 2. Here they go. Final time into turns 3 and 4. Anderson can't get there. Bigley sweeps here at 4:17. Dylan Bigley wins both of your 50-lap features here tonight at 417 Southern Speedway. In the first race, he holds off veteran Midwest short tracker Boris Yorkovic, and here in race number 2, he gets it done with the 84 of Wayne Anderson finishing in second. Patrick Staropoli, your third-place finisher. Boris Yorkovic brings it home in the 4th spot, and a 5th-place finish for Cody Krucker. Dylan Bigley looks like he's going to do a little celebrating here at 417 Southern Speedway. He's got his family and friends parked there back along the backstretch there in turn number 2, and I believe he's going to whip it around here and give it a little Alan Kulwicki Polish victory lap here at 417 Southern Speedway before he brings it back down to the CCK Financial Group victory lane for the 2nd time here tonight at 417 Southern Speedway. Dylan Bigley parks it again in victory lane. So we'll get ready to head down trackside to the voice of 417 Southern Speedway, racing Jason Beckner with our victory lane interviews with your winner, Dylan Bigley.
Dylan Bigley down here getting all unhooked out of the car. Ladies and gentlemen, climbing out of the car, 4 in a row, the number 28, your winner, Dylan Bigley. You know, many years in Florida racing, seen many Bigley-Anderson battles on racetracks all around the state, and right here at the 417 Southern Speedway. Man, what a great run. Good crew, good car, buddy.
Yeah. Man, I got to thank all these guys, Wayne and all of them, Boris, Goddard for racing me clean. I don't know if we would have got Goddard right there. I mean, unfortunately, what happened, I don't know if he broke a motor or not. I mean, I feel bad for the kid. He was fast. He was definitely fast. God, I mean, I can get used to this. I just got to thank my mom, my dad, my fiance for doing this all the time, my brother, Johnny, Josh, Kyle, I mean, KC Customs over here. I got to thank Jesse, James, I mean, Southern Pools, Fury Race Cars, Hamner Elite Racing Engines. It's a ball. I have a blast driving this thing.
Well, we enjoyed watching you do it tonight. We'll let you get over here and take the pictures. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you again. I got to thank all these fans. I hope we put a show on for you guys. Without you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. And thank you, 417, for putting this on.
Throwing it out there to the fans. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Your winner, the 28, Dylan Bigley. Well, you 4 wins in a row.
2 weeks in a row, you walked away.
Well, I'm busy.
This could be my number.
This your number? All right. He's going to pull the winner. Blue ticket. Blue 50-50 ticket. 029538. 029538. If you have that ticket, come down.